Hello, thank you for joining RasPipKr tutorials. I'm Martin Parker, and in this video we're going to continue with our Tic Tac Toe game. If you watched the playlist so far, but basically in the last video we talked about increasing the sizes of our boxes and the text font size, and also checking if we have a winner, like so. We have a winner, but I can still click these other boxes. Which doesn't really make any sense, so we need to sort that out. So in here, let's sort out our font first of all. So we'll call this button font, and we'll do on my Raspberry Pi. I use when I'm doing my tkinter Windows, I tend to use Verdana quite a bit, and we'll go with 22, so it should have a decent size to it. And we need to set that font equal to button font. Let's just have a quick look and make sure that looks alright. The boxes look a little bit bigger, so that's a bit better, and the text size looks quite a decent size for the size of the box, so I'm happy with that. Right, so let's continue and we'll sort out some checking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a function called winCheck, and in here I need to know which player it is. So when you click it, it's going to first initially create an X, and then next time you click it'll be an O, and then so on. But rather than working with the clicks value that we are appending, well, we're adding 1 every time we click a button. Let's work with a player. So if I grab that, take that back, and rather than setting it for that O variable, we'll set it to an actual player. So in our checking part here, so here we'll set the player equal to X, and when we are an odd number, we will do player equals O, which are referencing to these variables here. So that'll work. I've got 2 brackets there, that won't work. Now it'll work. But what I want to do is I want to grab the player, because we don't want to check if there is a winner. Sorry, I don't want to check through every possibility. I only want to check the current player that's playing, that's just clicked a button. So that's why we're putting player as the argument for this function. So let's create the function winCheck. I'm going to put in the player, and just like before, we've done a for loop to create our buttons running through our the dictionary list. So we have our key and our value. So what we'll do is we'll do a for loop, and we'll just basically do a for loop 0 up to 3. So it'll give us our 0, 1 and 2, and we can work with that by adding certain numbers to it, or times it by 3, whichever. So let's get that going. So for I in range, and we'll put in 3, so it'll do a 0, 1 and 2 per run, and basically we want to check if the main layout dot get, and we'll check for I, and that will give us the key for this, and then this, and then this, whilst when it goes through the for loop. So we need to actually get the value, so we'll do a dot get, and then we'll say if it's equal to the player, and then we'll print player. So it should print whatever button we click on to sign and then the player. So let's just run that and see what we get. Alright, so there's nothing showing at the moment because I haven't clicked anything yet, but if I click here we get an X, so it's recognised that. If I click here we get an O, so that's working, and if I click it again we get an X. Now it's seen two X's now in that top row, so that's why it's printed out the player basically. But if I click another row it's only looking at this top row, so that's why it's printed out one O even though there's two O's on screen. There's three X's on screen, but it's only done them two, which are these ones here. So we need to sort our rows and columns, but at least we've got the top row being checked. But what we'll do is to check if there is a row, we want to check against the whole lot. So we shall, first of all, let's just copy that, and let's put in space and then an and, so we can check against another one, and then a space and then paste in again. And what we'll do here is we'll do an I times 3, and over here we shall do an I times 3 plus 1, and over here we shall do a I times 3 plus 2. Okay, so rather than printing out the player, we'll print out row. So that should give us should print out row when we've got a row of the same player on the screen. So let's just run that, check that. So if I click this box we get an X, if I click this box we get an O, if we click that box get an X, an O, and then when I click this box it should print row down here like it did. And also because I am, the next time I click I will be the O player, it will print out row again because I'll click this box like so, and then because I clicked that one there it's still seeing this row. So what I need to do is sort out for our columns and then do our diagonals, and that's all the possible winning combinations covered, and then we will stop being able to click any other boxes when we have a winner. So let us basically copy all of that for our row, and if I put an L and then paste, so we've got an L if, and we'll change this to be a column, and basically we don't want to have it set for 0 and then 3 and 6. We need to change this to be this wants to be plus 3. Nope, that wants to be 0. That wants to be on our whatever I is, and this one wants to be plus 3, and this one will want to be plus 6. Okay, so if I, through the first run of the loop, I will be 0, so that's checking that first position, and then that'll be 0 plus 3, so that will be this position, and then plus 6 will be this one, so that's checking all of that column, so that'll be the first column, and then when it's checked through again I will be 1, we're adding 3, 4 and then 7, and then 2 plus 3 equals 5, plus 6 equals 8, so we've got 2, 5, 8, so that will give us our column winner. So let's just check that. So we'll click here, we'll get an X, O, X, O, and then when I click this box we should get column printed out down here, like so. And then because we are the O player, we will click here and we get it printed out again because the clicking was the O player, and it's now seen that winner. So let's sort out our diagonals. So to do the diagonal, if I just bring the buttons, we don't really want to check every time for these other options through when it goes through the loop. So we'll make sure that our say O is equal to 0, because there's no point waiting until it gets to 2 and then check for the diagonal. So here we'll just do a if I equals 0, then we will, if I paste in, then we've got our initial row. So we've got our full layout. So I'll just move that over. Right, so here we want to check. We'll go from the top left to the bottom right. So because we know that I is 0, let's make sure that it equals the player. So that one's going to be there. So we need to do the here we need to make sure it's plus 4, and then down here we need the 8. So we'll do this one as plus 8. So that's doing our top left to bottom right. Okay, and if I get underneath there, so now if I type L and then paste from my previous time I copied, let's move this over so it's in the correct indentation. So now we want to make sure that so we'll do the bottom left to the top right. So we'll say here, because we know that I is definitely 0 because we are checking at this point here. So we'll do plus 6, and then we'll do a plus 4 and a plus 2 for the other position. So we'll do a plus 6. Let's put a space in there. And over here we want to do a plus 4 again. And over here I want to have a plus. I've got rid of something I didn't want to get rid of there. This wants to be I plus 2. I need to put my bracket back in because I deleted it by accident. And this wants to then print bottom left to top right. That's our winning state. So if I run that just to check these off, and we can easily get an X winner here. So we've got our spelled bottom wrong, but we do have a winner. So we have bottom left to the top right. Let's stop that and just sort that out. And we'll run it now, but this time we'll check from the top left. And there we have our top left to the bottom right, and it's printed out that we have our winner. So now when we have our, rather than printing, what we want to do is we want to we'll make a function called winner. We don't need to pass anything into it, so let's just basically put our winning function in for each of these, replacing these print statements. And the last one. And let's do our winner function. So what does our winner function want to do? Well, we need to stop people from clicking any other buttons. So what we'll do is we'll do a for loop, and we'll run through our buttons list that we created when we actually created our buttons, because when we actually made our layout, we appended the buttons list per button of the object of a button. So what we'll do is we'll do a for I in, and we'll do a range, and then we'll do the len of the amount of buttons list that we have, and basically we'll do a buttons I, so we're grabbing that element of the button object in the buttons list dot config. So we're going to work with that. We're going to set the state equals disabled, and that is all we need to put into the winner function. So we'll run that, and we shouldn't be able to click anymore. Now when I when I hover over a button, you see that it highlights. So if I start clicking through, and we're going to get an X winner on the next click, like so, now I can't click any other buttons. So we've sorted out our winner state. So there we go. That's it for this video. In the next video, we will make some changes so that we can get into a new game by having a menu, a drop down, say. We might put a score into it, or we might have a pop-up window to say that X won or O won, or wins, whichever. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.